Good evening, and welcome to the Ward 4 portion of the 2023 Waterloo Municipal Debate, sponsored by Northern Iowa Student Government in partnership with Women of Action, Cedar Valley Activate, and the Cedar Falls Waterloo branch of the American Association of University Women. For tonight's candidates for Ward 4, we have Sarah Cerveny, Belinda Creighton, and Josh Gramlich. As a reminder, we will have 90 seconds for opening remarks, 60 seconds for answers to questions, 30 seconds for any rebuttals, and 60 seconds for closing remarks. We will start today with opening remarks from Sarah Cerveny.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Cerveny, and I'm running for seat in Ward 4. Thank you, NI Student Government, for facilitating this event, as well as coordinators, Maria, Kuiper, and Jamie. I have lived in Cedar Valley for about 26 years. I was born in Dubuque, moved to Waterloo in high school. I'm a 2000 graduate of West High. I have my associates from Hawkeye Community College and my bachelor's degree in English from currently I am working as a credit manager at Birch Cabinets, which I've been here for 2.5 years. Prior to my time at Birch, I have worked in the banking industry for 7 years. And I currently sit on a board of directors for Cedar Valley Hospice and was a prior board member for the Cedar Bend Humane Society. Outside of my professional life, I am a mom to 2 humans and 3 4-legged dogs. So I'm just really excited to see how I can move forward into a new direction.
Creighton Smith. Thank you so much. Thank you to the organizers for taking care of this. This is so important that the community can hear where we are and how what we can bring to the community. So I appreciate you and the moderators as well. Yes, I'm Belinda Creighton Smith. I've been in Waterloo since I was 3 years old. I've lived in the community, worked in the community, received my education in the community, was one of the first students that was bused to part of the open enrollment program to integrate the schools. So I have a history and definitely have a history in Waterloo. In the great things in Waterloo and the not so great things as we think about our past. But what is so wonderful for me is that I've been a part of that story from the very beginning. Have lived in the 4th Ward all my life as well. My husband and I have lived there for 34 years. So that's all I know. That's all my children know. In fact, my youngest son will always say 4th Ward, baby. And so he has his little baby putting his fingers up 4th Ward because we want to enrich the 4th Ward. The 4th Ward is rich in diversity, rich in personality. And so I bring that richness to the council. And I also speak for the people that I represent in Ward 4.
Thank you. Mr. Gramlich?
I'm Josh Gramlich. I work at John Deere's. Thank you for the people that debate, and asking us the questions. And I was just sorry for the way but the reason I'm running from, it's kind of a weird situation when I started running for city council because I was listening to Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, and to make a change, And I thought about a quote from a man that I consider to be one of my heroes, Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Our lives begin to end the day we became silent about the things that matter." So,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
So start with Sarah. So what are some of the things that you hope to influence if you get elected for the Ward 4?
Sure. There's some of the main ones that I'm really passionate about. One of them is housing. I feel that the dilapidated houses definitely have a benefit to the environment. I think that's something that could be something we could work with other organizations as well as Habitat for Humanity. We could definitely also have developers come in and rehab those homes and make them recognizing it's being used into the second one would be safe neighborhoods, and this one's definitely probably the top one I witnessed. As a mom, I definitely look at this as a huge thing for our children to be safe, not just my child, but all children in Waterloo. So that is definitely something that I would love to address. Also, quality of life, with leisure services, that's definitely a huge point. And they're just really things that I think are very important for the area.
Thank you so much. Actually, the things that you mentioned that you want to do, we are doing. So I'm excited about that. We are rehabbing homes. Habitat for Humanity is working in partnership with the city. We do have developers that are coming in to rehab some of these homes that can be rehabbed, and the others we're securing money from grants as well as other tax breaks that we have to remove those homes. What I'd like to have happen is that we would also have individuals in the community who can afford to rehab those homes, to begin to rehab them, sell them, and then increase their wealth. We know that there is a huge wealth gap when we think about poor people and people of color in particular. So this would be one of the ways to close the wealth gap. So that's one of my, oh gosh, and I don't get a chance to talk about the others. But I also want to expand the business district in Waterloo, put back some of what urban renewal removed from our community on the north side of Waterloo.
I think that we need to start fixing up the homes before they become bad. The ones that have problems before they arise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So growth of business in the city has been an important objective. What is your attitude regarding city-provided incentives for businesses to locate or develop in Waterloo?
That is something we're doing, and it has been very successful. I don't know if you're aware of all of the businesses that have been brought into the area since Mayor Hart became mayor of Waterloo. Things have happened in Waterloo that have never happened before. I mean, the growth and development, it's extraordinary, the work that he has done. So that I don't think it would be wise of us to change something that is working for us so well. Not only that, we have other organizations that are partnering with the city to bring in leisure kind of things. My Waterloo Days was the biggest ever this past season. In addition to, we've got a semi-pro team that's coming. So I mean, there are things that we're doing, and definitely North Crossing. What you're seeing happening in North Crossing is because of some of these tax incentives, in addition to the things that happen with Crystal Cold. Oh my goodness, and all of the other businesses that's happening in Waterloo. Thank you.
Thank you. Should the city, how do you feel about the city giving tax incentives for businesses to come here?
It's a good thing. I mean, anything's good, bad, come to Waterloo. I mean, anything that you can get something better for some people that, don't have anything, get jobs,
Thank you.
I definitely support the growth of businesses. I think it's going to make it a more attractive place for them to work. And so I definitely think that is something that we can continue to improve upon with the things that we are doing, and hopefully brainstorm on different ideas as well.
So talking about, new businesses coming to Waterloo, what do you think are some of the good things that you've seen Waterloo do in the last 4 years, and then some of the things that you would have changed? Does that make sense? Yes, first.
What was it again?
What are some of the things that you think Waterloo has done well in the past 4 years, and some things that you would have changed or done differently?
Taking down some of the houses that we had. I've seen that change a lot. I've seen it driving back from work all the time and seeing houses that are bad in the area that can be improved. So they're coming down.
Is there anything you would change that they've done?
Just going around and talking to people and finding out, like I see this house every day when I go to work with the bad roof for the last 10 years and find out what they can do to, get that change.
I definitely think that there's been a tremendous amount of growth. I don't know exact time frame, so 4 years, I'm definitely off on my things, but if you think of just the growth of Irish Fest, the Oktoberfest, alcohol, but there's the amphitheater, there is the downtown, just the area of First Street. It's just such a great area to be, and that also those events definitely bring people back year after year. So that is definitely something. As far as something that I would change, I feel that there's always room for change. So I don't have anything pinpointed, but I definitely feel that we can always improve on any of them.
I would definitely continue to build the business district. I like to see more affordable housing on the north end of Waterloo, as well as some high-end housing. We need to mix the property tax base, diversify it, so that our schools aren't struggling for money because of property values being so low. So we definitely could build that up. As far as we've done amazing things as far as businesses, I'd like to see those businesses extend to the north east part further into Waterloo, East 4th Street and down, where we used to have a vibrant community. We had pharmacies, we had jewelry stores, we had 2 grocery stores. We have a grocery store now, and so, that's what I would like to see us build that part of the north end of Waterloo, the east side of Waterloo, and because it can be the vibrant east side of Waterloo that has been in the past.
What quality of life projects do you think that Waterloo should invest in the future?
I definitely think that they should continue the expansion of leisure services. We have an amazing program with respect of leisure services for children, but I think that there's definitely more that could happen. I think that also with the quality of life, it's training up our people, our children from elementary school to high school to college, so that they can learn, grow, work. So it will definitely, just kind of all encompassing help our town.
Definitely. Ward 4, we need to pay closer attention to Ward 4 now. To begin to build up Ward 4, we have a number of homes and families in Ward 4 that could truly benefit from some additional activities and leisure kind of activities there. We are putting up the Gates Park, the water splash pad and those things, the golf course, and expanding those things, but even more. I'd like to have restaurants on the east side of Waterloo where we can go as families to eat and not have to go all the way across town or to go into Cedar Falls or what have you, to build up that part of town that has been neglected prior to Mayor Hart's coming on board. But he has definitely paid attention to that. We're working on getting rid of Chamberlain. It's a long, slow process. All of these things that we want to get done, the dilapidated homes, it's a process involved. Sometimes even taking that particular owner to court. So there's a lot of work to do.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I think that there's a lot of things to do in the wintertime or summertime, but there's not enough stuff to do for kids in the winter, like a skating ring or something like that. So.
Thank you.
Kind of switching to a more serious topic other than fun things to do. So taxpayers, property taxes, real estate taxes, what will you do to keep, or how will you keep future homeowner real estate taxes and business property taxes at a low level, or do you think they should be increased?
Well, I think that the burden of the taxes, as far as who pays what, needs to be more equitable. In poor communities, um, to think of them paying more when they already have very little is unimaginable. But also having a more equitable kind of tax um, process, I think, is important. There are times when everything is higher, everything's increasing, and so when the costs increase, there we're going to have to pay a little bit more in taxes. But the wonderful benefit of what we're doing now in the city is bringing in businesses and other opportunities to offset that, which will be helpful after the time that those TIFs are paid. That money goes back into the community. And the more businesses we bring in, that increases the property value and the tax base so that then it can give some relief to the property owners as well. So if we generate those businesses and get them here, then we can also offset the property tax that people have to pay as well.
How will you keep future homeowner taxes and business taxes at a low level, or do you think they should be raised? Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah.
thank you. Sarah?
Can you ask a question?
Yeah. How will you keep homeowner real estate taxes and business property taxes at a low level, or do you think they should be increased?
Yeah, I would support the current measure that was 20% that could towards property tax relief that we have. And then we should scrutinize the money that is confined to business districts such as TIFs. When able, we should retire debt and bring money back to the general fund. So this will help our schools, our property taxes, roads, and bridges. By doing this, I would definitely want to be promoting the development, making it more attractive, so which would then, help with the tax information. We continue to support the expansion of leisure services and improving quality of life, and as well as it's really, really essential to get our spending under control. Tax abatement should only be used as something significant jobs to our area, and I feel that we really need to wrangle in our budget and wrangle in how we spend, and I think
Do you think that Waterloo is doing any unnecessary spending? Be specific.
I'm not a part of the council, so I'm not sure of it actually will. Don't know if that question was supposed to be.
Whatever, I got thrown.
I would say no. Of course, we could always improve on what we're doing, but we're looking very closely at the spending and trying to bring in revenue so that the spending is kept to a minimum. So we are tracking that. We are looking very carefully and scrutinizing the money, the way in which we're spending. We have to remember that if we don't spend money to promote businesses, to bring people in, then we're not going to have those businesses come in. We have to also remember that for some communities, for example, Ward 4, we have individuals who are renting their property values are lower, so schools aren't getting as much money. We have to build up those communities so that our schools are equitable and have the funding that they need, with the teachers that they need to provide the services and resources that the students need. So it's a lot more than just looking at businesses, but we have to think about how the taxes are used to offset some of the areas that cannot afford to pay as much as others.
My turn. Okay. Are you in favor or opposed to Waterloo adopting a city manager form of government? Explain yourself.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned earlier in an earlier statement, we're doing very well as we are. This mayor has done more than so many others before him. I would just be terrified to change something that's working so well right now. Having a very progressive way of not only meeting with businesses, encouraging development, working with developers, working with the constituents, opening up the door for opportunities for constituents to provide feedback, expanding our internet services so that it's not just those who can afford it to have internet in their homes, but expanding it to the rural areas that have not had internet. So this mayor has done some things that no one else has ever done before. I would hate to change that in the middle of our success.
I definitely feel that it's something that we could benefit from. I think that Mayor Hart has done a great job, and I think he could continue to do a great job as is. But the information that Dave posted of we're one of only 2 cities that are doing it this way, I feel that there's definitely something that we could look at and see if it would be for the betterment of our community.
Yes, please. Okay. We have a mayor that is recognized nationally. He's nationally renowned for the work that he has done. And he's in the top tier. For when you think of Waterloo, Iowa, you wouldn't think that we would be able to compete with some of these other cities in these larger municipalities, and yet we're ranking right up there at the top with them. So I think that we're doing very well where we are right now, even though we're 1 and 2 of the top paying towns as far as mayors is concerned. Our mayor is right up there at the top with other cities doing some fantastic things. So I would say no, definitely again.
Thank you. All right, it is time for our closing statements. So why don't we start with Dr. Clayton Smith?
Well, thank you so much for your time. I know that it's a lot for the community to come out and sit through these things. Hopefully, you were able to learn something about the candidates, those that are really passionate about their neighborhood, where they live, who's worked their entire life. I've worked my entire life for my city and for my community since junior high, and probably being one of the first students bused, probably since elementary school. But my life has been a life of service as a pastor, as a professor at UNI with wonderful young people, being able to shape minds, young minds. It's just important that we have someone who knows the community and loves the community, that is representing the community, that has the voice and the heart of the community in mind.
Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for their time this evening, and I hope I gave you a glimpse of my ideas for the betterment of our city. I know that this position brings a lot of work and dedication, and these are 2 things that I'm prepared for. I may be a green in the avenue of city-run establishment, but I think that I can bring in a completely different and new perspective that, we've had the same sets of eyes on things for a very long time, and sometimes you need a new perspective and new sets of eyes to way of thinking to make change happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that has been the 2023 Waterloo Municipal Debate. Before we end the night, I'd like to give big thanks to our moderators, Jamie Wenfro and Maria Kuiper, for taking time out of their evening. I will also like to thank the City of Waterloo for allowing us to use the City Hall chambers tonight, as well as the Waterloo Community Television for recording this debate for us. And thank you to everyone else for attending this debate. And please remember to vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.